Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. Something's Gotta Give. It's your girl, Mary B. And I want to talk about just how unrecognizable I have become to myself. And I'm really understanding just how true this statement, people change like the seasons, is. Me taking full advantage of understanding that I'm allowed to change at any given moment throughout my life, and I can become as many different versions of myself as I please. Other people have the free will to do just the same. And the purpose of life is evolution. So, of course, people are going to come in and out of your life. The difficult thing about that is when you truly love somebody, when you've really created a bond, a relationship with someone, it is never, ever, ever easy parting ways with that version of yourself. I feel like what makes it the most difficult of parting away from a bond that you've created with somebody else is that also means you're saying bye to a version of yourself. Changing requires a period of grief that you have with a past version of yourself. And I often feel like letting go of old versions of yourself is the most difficult thing of all when it comes to closing chapters of the past. And I have mentioned quite a few times how I've lost many relationships and friendships as I began my healing journey. And I would just like to go in depth on how I really began to understand that it is inevitable and it's makes the transition of change much easier to lean into when you realize when you're leveling up, everything around you is going to have to level up simply because it's energy. If we're going to talk about science, when you go on a different frequency level, right? Everything around you is going to change. The things that you like, the things that you eat, how you discipline your behavior, the conversations that you engage in, and the friendships that you acquire. And when you level up, of course, you're going to require new people around you because you're going to have new peers teaching you more about life, things that you weren't open to before, right? That is what is required of advantage, is always making sure you have people around you that are putting you onto new game. And if you feel like you not leveling up, then maybe it's time to level up your peers around you. And in order to find those people who are going to help you advance in this life, you have to create space for them. Well, how can you create space for them when you're continuously pouring into friendships or relationships or partnerships, whatever you want to call them, that are occupying on the old frequency that you're trying to free yourself from? And it is really hard because there's no way you can communicate to someone who hasn't mentally advanced to the level that you are at that, hey, you're not seeing things like I am anymore. And it's not a diss to you. I'm not here trying to disrespect you or say that I'm better than you or you're falling behind in life. Maybe this is the life that you're chosen and this is the life that you're actively choosing. But what if I want to actively choose something else and you aren't necessarily what I'm choosing to attract towards me now? It is never easy to tell the people you're outgrowing, hey, I'm just not into this anymore, because they're never going to receive it in a place of love. 9.5 times out of 10, they are never going to receive it in a place of love. In fact, they're going to pass judgments. They're going to cause friction and make it a little difficult for you to leave. They're going to make you uncomfortable and question why it is that you're searching for something new, something better in the first place. They're going to make you feel as if it's impossible for you to attract something better and to level up in your life, right? Why are they going to make you feel like that? Because they're projecting their own insecurities of what they believe onto you. That scarcity, that small, that fear that has embellished in their spirit, they're going to want to push that on you, and it's going to happen subconsciously, right? I don't think many people try to maliciously hurt their friends. I think sometimes when someone is trying to grow, it makes the other people so uncomfortable, they're going to make you feel uncomfortable about you trying to do something better for yourself. And just as there are 4 seasons every year that we experience, right? And every season has its purpose, and it's all helping to paint this bigger picture of evolution, right? So you have winter, and winter is necessary because animals need to hibernate. Trees need to essentially become cold and bare and lose their identity. Snow has to fall on the ground. The weather has to become cold, and you have to spend a lot of time inside. And it's essentially the time where you hibernate until it's time for spring. And spring, the water starts to fall and things start to bloom, and you start to become warm, and you can change the clothes that you're wearing. You're no longer wearing the thick, heavy jackets, but maybe you're wearing something lighter. It's not fully hot yet, though, so you still have to take your time with just how much of yourself you reveal, because you're still in a season of warming up, right? Summertime rolls around. It's finally time to be free. You can wear your skirts, you can wear your shorts, you can have your arms out, you can have yourself be exposed. Why? Because you're ready for the hot elements. You are ready to be tested. You're ready to be thrown into the fire because you can handle the fire because of your seasons of preparation, right? But then when it's time for you to elevate again, fall rolls around. It gets cold again. You have to start layering again. You have to start hiding again. You have to start resting again. You have to release those leaves. You have to release old past beliefs, old habits, old patterns, etc. We are essentially a part of the cycle of evolution. We are nature. We are part of Mother Earth. Everything operates in the form of frequency. So when you truly understand that I am a part of this cycle of life, I am a part of this cycle of evolution. So of course, people are going to be seasonal. Why are people seasonal? Because I myself am seasonal. And if you are on the steadfast course of continuously writing this life of what it was meant for, which is constantly learning, constantly evolving, constantly becoming anew, constantly trying to level up in whatever leveling up looks for you. It doesn't have to be the standard quote of leveling up that society has taught us, climbing a corporate ladder or building a family, etc. Leveling up could essentially be whatever it is that your spirit is telling you to do, and only you know what that looks like when you take the time to be still, when you take that season of hibernation, when you take that season of stillness. Everybody has to go through that. But in the season of stillness is when information is revealed to you on what you need to do in order for you to be prepared to be thrown into the heat of the summer, the heat of your life, the heat of success. Summer is the peak, and we all want to achieve the peak, but everything is a cycle. You hit the peak, eventually the down is going to come around again, just like the up will come around again, until you have lived all there is for you to live in this life. And I really struggled with understanding everything that I just said. And I may have understood it, but I wasn't willing to just fall face first into it, because we are so bound by this word loyalty, and we feel like we have to be loyal. Are you loyal to yourself? Are you loyal to yourself? And if the answer is yes, there shouldn't be so much friction when yourself is telling you that somebody's got to go. Right? That would make sense. And so, to what fault are we being so loyal that we start to lose the connection within ourselves? And if you're losing the connection within yourself, can you ask yourself, is it worth it? If you're losing the connection with yourself, that means you might have a problem with people pleasing. And of course, you would have a problem with understanding that people are seasonal if you are a person who struggles with people pleasing. Because many people have attachment issues and don't know when to let go or how to let go. So when the time comes to let go, it's very difficult. But the question still remains, are you loyal to yourself? And if that relationship that's making you question, am I being more loyal to you than I am to myself? Am I disrupting my peace just to extend this season that I have with you? Why am I doing that? If you can't really find an answer that makes sense for you, that your soul can sing to in harmony with you, there's some inner work that needs to be done, right? And I feel like the more inner work you do and the more confident you become and the more understanding you are with the free flow of life, all the good and the bad, it is much easier to embrace the fact that people are seasonal. And not that you'll have to go through so many cycles of family members and friends and lovers. Oftentimes, relationships are seasonal just for there to be off seasons for you to reunite in the future. Essentially, this whole life is a circle, right? Sometimes you can go years without talking to someone. But those years of absence were pivotal for both you and that person's growth. And it wouldn't be able to happen if there was not a season of hibernation, if there was not a season of separation between the two of you. I've heard of people meeting, getting married, getting divorced, being separated for over a decade, maybe two, and remarrying again. I've personally had friendships where I thought I would never talk to the person again. A few years pass by and all of a sudden there's a reconnection. And maybe when you reconnect, the relationship looks different. Maybe when you reconnect, the relationship is better. Far better than you could have ever imagined, because growth is an internal thing, and sometimes the growth that is required upon us cannot happen holding someone else's hand. And growth is not linear, and growth is not something you can do with someone you met at a certain level that you no longer are in alignment with. So wasting your time for someone that you met at a certain level that isn't catching up to the pace of your growth, you're delaying where you could be going, where you need to be going, because you're waiting on other people. And oftentimes that's why many people don't reach the level of success that they desire, because we're waiting on everybody else around us, because we're so scared to do it by ourselves. And so we put ourselves through pain, and we find ourselves complaining time and time again why Sally Lou isn't leveling up. And man, I'm ready to get this bag, but my friends ain't really rocking with me. But I can't let them go because I'm loyal to them. But you ain't being loyal to yourself. So what does that loyalty to them matter? It doesn't matter. In fact, when you think of it like that, it's kind of foolish to do yourself so dirty because you worried and waiting on your partner next to you. And I promise it may be uncomfortable at first, but if your partner is really your partner, if your friend is really your friend, they're going to let you go. Because they believe in the vision that you have. They believe that you're destined for greater. They want you to do better. Maybe you doing better, maybe you breaking free will give them the motivation and the vision and the information that they need to grow themselves. What if you are a part of their growth? But you being a part of their growth was you choosing yourself and you leaving. And you won't know that until you leave, until you make that space, until you understand that not everyone can come with you. Oftentimes, nobody's going to come with you. There is so much information in solitude. If you sit in stillness, all of the information will be revealed to you. Trust that. Know that. Believe that. The strongest thing in this world is the power of belief. That's why you can't convince people who are true to their religion of something else because they believe that their God, that they're Buddhist, that they're whatever that they believe in is the truth. That's why when a girl or a guy is in a relationship and everyone else around them knows that their partner is cheating on them, if that person believes that their partner is not and they're believing the lies they're being told to them, that's good enough. The power of belief is the most powerful thing of all. If you believe in something, it will happen. If you believe that you can heal yourself from cancer, you will heal yourself from cancer. So I just encourage you to believe and trust in all of the seasons that are just part of life, that are inevitable, that are going to happen, and to not fight it. In fact, to embrace it, to learn to be free-flowing, to trust that maybe this space is needed for the both of us. And trust that no matter if the person is to come back or not, you believe that everything is always working out for your greatest good. Because why would it not? Because why do you not deserve anything but the greatest of things to be working in your favor? You should believe that you deserve for everything to always be conspiring to be for your greatest good, for your greatest favor. And when I started to really trust and believe that everything's okay and it'll always work out in the end, I leaned more into letting go. Because in letting go creates space for becoming the best version of yourself. Always. Always. Let go of anything that's stagnant, that no longer serves you, in order to attract and be in alignment with your best life and your highest self. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. And I just want to send strength your way this week. And as always, I look forward to talking to y'all again. Till next time, y'all. Bye-bye.